Live, local, lethal, and loud. This is the Scooter McGee Show on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Well, good evening and welcome back, Gotham. Good evening, Metropolis. Happy Memorial Day weekend, Emerald City, Xanadu, Babylon, to the ISS, and the rest of you. I am Scooter McGee. You can find me on the World Wide Web, 1310kfk.com. We're live here from the CRP 4x4 studios. Our discussion this hour, Joshua Card checking in with us. He, of course, for the Scooter McGee Show, for lack of a better word, our overseas correspondent. Our stringer, our man on the field, boots on the ground. He's got sandals and flip-flops and Corona t-shirts. Dave Matthews. And what more do you need? An interesting perspective Josh has been giving us here on the show for many, many months now. And this will be interesting tonight. So he's back with us on the phones right now, 877-353-1310. And we'll just double check now. Josh, you are there, correct? Perfect. Now hold on. Well, I didn't know if you knew this. So we have someone on the phone who wishes to speak with you. This is not You Bet Your Life, and I haven't sucker punched you, and I didn't know about this. There's a guy named Lane on the phone. Am I putting him on? Perfect. There he is. He's on the phone. Lane, say hi to the world. You don't swear. There you go. Hi, world. Very good, very good, Gracie. All right, so Josh, take us through, and having Lane with us on the show for further insight, opposition. What are we doing here? You actually think the hierarchy of the North Koreans themselves, not their puppets, are their puppeteers, but themselves, so unused to just the contrast of rhetoric versus side talk versus Trump says, put up, shut up, okay, fine, no, see you, bye. I'm not playing this game. We got 24 hours in a day. I don't have time to waste my time with you. Do you really think that is enough of a change of just the status quo of generational politics when it comes to North Korea? Yes, correct. Agreed. Yes. Talking in this manner we're speaking, and this is Lane speaking, and forgive me, I didn't ask, from where are you if you're not in Korea? In Washington. Okay, very good. Yeah, no. No, not the District of Criminals. Got it. Um, Often I've talked with Josh, and Josh, you're still with us. I can hear you, yes? Okay. I've talked with Josh about the insight about the people because here in the West, now the conversation we're having right now, very businesslike, very sitting around a conference table. A's, B's, ones, twos. I mean, this is mutual. Great. If not, see you bye. But when it comes to intergenerational, as you mentioned, inbreeding, and they're all psycho, not they're all the Kim empire nuts, the people suffering. But there's still that entire multi generational things like honor and respect, dignity, all of the Asian culture that many here in the West just simply can't grasp. And well, so you bring up that they're just not used to dealing with someone so straightforward. How much, if any, of that would the Asian culture or Korean culture or the dictatorship of the Kim regimes play onto that argument of they're just not used to dealing with this? And is that just centuries of tradition, honor, I mean, all of those things that we used to see being projected of the Asian cultures? A headline or a flash in the tweet or on the YouTube page. That's not in their world, and yet, sadly, you're absolutely that is a sad portion of ours. Okay, I tell you what, we are quarter after 15 to the bottom. Joshua's joining us from South Korea. Lane's on the phone with us from Washington State. You're listening to us on 1310kfk.com. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. North Korea, South Korea, the idea of getting them together, peace and harmony, denuclearization. Who's looking for what? Is it going to happen? Could it happen? Or is it all just another diversion to keep us looking from another story? And if so, what's that? We'll get to that and more when we come back on the Scooter McGee Show.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market. And it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change, but Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember, Another Man's Treasure.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry, so many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
Well, I'm glad to hear Chris is okay. What's the condition of his car?
It can be fixed. I'm just waiting to hear from my insurance adjuster as to where.
We'll take it over to Auto Collision Specialists. They've repaired my cars for years.
I wanted to, but my adjuster says I'll have to pay additional costs out of my own pocket to have it repaired at Auto Collision Specialists.
Stop. You pay your insurance premiums in good faith every month with the expectation that if you have an accident, your insurance company will pay what's necessary to repair your car correctly. In many cases, that's not what happens. Scare tactics like threatening to make you pay out of pocket or not warranting the work are tricks that will not be tolerated at Auto Collision Specialists. You can rest assured we have your best interests at heart and will do everything in our power to make sure your insurance company fulfills its commitment to you. Remember, insurance companies don't fix cars. We do.
Auto Collision Specialists will take care of them.
Last time on the whole show.
On the highlight, Drew Priestman, our Rockies insider. Should they be buyers? Should they be looking to make a big trade here to strengthen the bats a little bit?
They don't need to do anything. In fact, now would be a terrible time. You don't have to leverage. Other teams are going to hold out. I think when people get frustrated, like, Rockies need to make moves now. You have to force one of the other 29 teams in the league to trade you their guy.
This has been the whole show replay. For more, tune in weekdays from 11 to 1 on 1310 KFKA. Cutting-edge commentary from the edge of reality. The Scooter McGee Show is back on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired. Share the night. What?
Pope Francis has saved the 34 pedophilic bishops from serving prison. We'll try and get to that story later tonight. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up the semi-boneless meatloaf I had for lunch, seeing that headline. In case you're just joining us, this is hour 2 from the CRP 4x4 studios of a Quantum News Network production of Scooter McGee Show. Boy, was this fast. For this show, this was fast. If you missed last hour, Josh came in about 6 minutes before the end of the show. It's already up on my social media. Thank you, Kevin Blake. Kevin Blake from the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association will be joining us in the 11 o'clock hour. North Korea, South Korea, China, Taiwan, the U.S., Russia, and others. The hype all the way up. Never going to happen, can't happen, will happen, should happen. See, it's your fault it didn't happen. And no matter what, the whole way, it's been Trump's fault for any of it happening. Or discrediting it couldn't have happened, but it had to happen because it was going to happen because the world was we're all going to die. Well, yeah, but not at the hands of the North Koreans. Joining us on the phone, Joshua Card. He's been on the show quite a bit here. He's in South Korea. He's got a friend, also someone who spent quite a bit of time over in the theater. He's back here in the States in Washington. They're joining us on the phones, 877-353-1310. Lane, welcome back. Lane's in Washington. And Josh, you're with us. You're in South Korea. So Josh, do you want to elaborate on what Lane said or add to or debate anything from the last segment before we move ahead? You bring up a very valid point. Lane, your thoughts about that? Now, Lane, it's very interesting you say that. I didn't. Um, what intelligence sources, news sources, confirmation sources do you have that there are some who say that's a conspiracy theory. That's not true. Yep. Okay. Thank you. You and I didn't talk about this. I didn't bring this up. There are those who say, well, that's not true. Yes. And again, the initial, we're ready to start dismantling, and here's what we're going to dismantle. Well, you can't because you blew that up. And again, the divide, here's what, yes, correct. And here's my worst fear of why no one really wants to cover this story, Lane. So let's see where you go with this. Fukushima is still spewing radiation. They don't talk about that. And based upon North Korea and what they tested, and again, this device was the largest they ever detonated, so large it triggered in its own earthquakes, and that damage creates the collapse. If that's spewing out into the atmosphere, that explains to me why no one wants to touch that story.
It might be a good time, maybe. You look at historically. Yeah, we the key thing with
in the theater of diplomacy and rhetoric, when it comes to negotiating at the table from the Western philosophy versus the Far Eastern philosophy, who right now, Lane, would you say has, and Josh for you as well, follow up, Lane, who would you say has the upper hand and better negotiating tactics after the most recent? Because again, what we're talking about tonight, all could have changed 3.5 times by next Monday or next Friday. But right now, if, okay, status quo, who has the upper hand, if any, when it comes to the boardroom philosophy versus the Far Eastern?
versus by trainers.
Josh? Then let me play devil's advocate. What would prevent the Soviets from stepping in? And we'll take this to the bottom break here. Okay, China needs North Korea for their coal. Well, you can't tell me that the Soviets don't need coal. So what would prevent the Soviets from stepping up if China backed out? No. Agreed. Okay. Yeah, it's a chess move. It's a bad chess move, but just the first thought of my top of my head. Well, the Soviets could just come in and pick up that coal with no. The Saudis want to go green. Well, they don't want to use their own oil. What would prevent the Saudis? The Saudi crown prince goes out on an Asian theater, wants to get a new Walkman, and decides to buy up all the coal reserve. Who knows? I only bring it up because stranger things have happened, and that's not headlines out of the Inquirer. That's out of the Wall Street Journal. I think I'll just fly into New York and buy a hotel. The last nutcase who did that was Howard Hughes, and he wasn't a nutcase. He worked for the CIA, and no wonder he bundled himself up into a room and didn't want to touch anybody or anything. You know, there's movement in the lawsuit regarding MK Ultra. Back on the discussion about North Korea when we take a quick bottom of the hour break from the CRP 4x4 studios. I am Scooter McGee. Find me on the World Wide Web, 1310kfk.com, and we'll get to Memorial Day headlines as well. We'll get to a special Memorial Day Zeros and Heroes on this day and Kevin Blake later tonight, so stick around.
KFKA's First Alert Weather, powered by Denver 7.
Fair skies tonight across northern Colorado, low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, highs in the low 90s. Sunday, upper 80s with a chance of a few thunderstorms. Afternoon storms likely on Monday with low 80s. Enjoy your weekend. I'm Mike Nelson, 1310 KFKA. This weather update is brought to you by CRP 4x4, located at the corner of 9th Street and 21st Avenue in Greeley. Call them at 970-351-8603.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market. And it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change. But Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
Last time on the Hull Show.
On the highlight, Drew Priestman, our Rockies insider. Should they be buyers? Should they be looking to make a big trade here to strengthen the bats a little bit?
They don't need to do anything. In fact, now would be a terrible time. You don't have the leverage. Other teams are going to hold out. When people get frustrated, like, Rockies need to make moves now. Force one of the other 29 teams in the league to trade you their guy.
This has been the Hull Show replay. For more, tune in weekdays from 11 to 1 on 1310 KFKA.
What's the secret to getting any vehicle to last over 200,000 miles? Pretty simple. It's all about reasonable maintenance. At Auto Tailor in Greeley, the maintenance packages are a great way to stay on top of your vehicle's condition, not to mention giving you peace of mind. At Auto Tailor, you won't be given an unrealistic list of the 1,000 fixes needed to make your car new again. You'll be told what the problems are and the fastest way to fix them, so you'll be back on the road safely. Given an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, Auto Tailor is the smart, reliable choice for your vehicle.
Cutting-edge commentary from the edge of reality. The Scooter McGee Show is back on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Backlash LaRue can tell you the story when Tyler learned to text. I think Tyler just learned social media. Not good.
A little too tall, could use a few pounds. Tight pants, points, hollering out. She was a black-haired beauty with big God.
Okay, good evening. Welcome back, Gotham. I did it from a conventional desktop and a laptop. In theory, though, it can be done on my smartphone. If you missed hour one, Scooter McGee successfully shared something on the Scooter McGee Show Facebook page. I don't think we've ever done that. If I had to repeat the sequence, I don't think I could get the launch codes up again, but... Alright, so yes, so there's the link. You can go there. It's at 1310kfk.com. If you click the box, then that'll take you to the YouTube page, and you can like, subscribe, or block from there. And then that'll be it. Each hours that we do interviews from now on, we will do shows and post accordingly. If it's me just yapping, we haven't decided yet. You can vote by going to scootermcgee.com. No, I'm sorry, thescootermcgeeshow.com. And you can email. And you can also suggest what we should have on that website. Blogs, videos, forum, chat, live streams, headlines. Listeners want to have blogs that the general public can see. Just go to thescootermcgeeshow.com and submit emails. And they go right here to my smartphone. We're not going to thank them yet. We're going to see how bad a disaster this works. Because over the weekend, I'm going to talk to our news and sports director, Troy Coverdale, and figure out how the text message thingy works. And if I don't drink myself into a coma, I'll see all of you on Tuesday. Not because of the holidays, just the stress of handling all these electronics and devices. I just like communicating. So we will open up. We've still got a back line open. 877-353-1310. Thoughts, ideas, and discussion about North and South Korea. My angle of but my angle of questioning tonight with Joshua Card. We don't have Lane's last name. I suppose he could give it if he wants. He's in Washington State. However, he spent 5 years in the Asian theater. If I'm saying that and offending people from the Asian theater, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be snowflakes. It's too warm and humid there. So I know it snows. All right, leave me alone. I know. I'm just... There There wasn't a single Mr. Moto or Charlie Chan or Mr. Wong that was Asian, so don't get mad at me. Perspective. Those who were there. So you've served overseas. You've spent time there. Certainly want to hear from you on this, 877-353-1310. We look at everything through Western eyes. And I still suggest that perhaps, 6,000 years of culture perhaps may influence people's decisions, outlooks, perspectives. Josh's boots on the ground. Lane had boots on the ground. He's back here in the United States. They're joining us back on the phones, 877-353-1310. So, Josh, back to you first regarding where we were taking this conversation before the bottom of the hour break. But in all fairness, you were also telling us there wasn't much hype of the summit either. Oh, all right, fair enough. Josh? So then back to ultimately who, and if it, again, the argument, it might not be the U.S. or North Korea or even South Korea. It could be Russia, could be China, could be Cuba, could be Germany, Italy. But since this latest maneuver and now pushback and, in theory, hypothetical pullout of the Singapore summit scheduled for June 12th, who, by Western definition, has upper hand, and does that translate still to the Eastern definition and philosophy, upper hand? Am I living in a false reality or? But key instruments or negotiating points or not negotiating points of this is one, Kim stays in power. And again, well, what motive does he have to leave, etc.? What reason does he have to attack or nuke? He does need to reach out for financial wherewithal, but in reasons past before, juxtaposition, all they had to do was walk away from it. Wasn't it still, and am I a dinosaur in thinking this, that saving face is no longer necessary to display to the people because the propaganda is so spoon-fed there now? Okay. How about we got the 3 North Korean hostages home? The media here in the West still wants to tout the U.S. hostages in Iran were kept the longest. One of the 3 North Korea or Americans held in North Korea was held 2 years and a month. That's a lot more than 444 days. Ooh, all right. We are pushing 45 after 45 or 15 to the top. 45 and 45 does not make 60, Scooter. High school dropout, not any intellectual roundtable discussion, just free thought discussion on a Quantum News Network production of Scooter McGee Show. Stand by, Gotham.
Everybody calls it the gold standard. In Eden, they call it the Gould standard. Gould Parts in downtown Eden is your answer for any part you need. Parts for cars, trucks, tractors, or heavy equipment. At Gould Parts, if we don't have your part, we'll find it. We'll even make parts for you like hydraulic hoses right on the spot. Gould Parts has been a staple in northern Colorado for over 50 years and is your source for quality Napa parts. Call Alan Gould and his great staff today at 454-3355. That's Gould Parts in downtown Eden, proud sponsor of Preps Radio.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
Last time on the Hull Show.
On the hotline, Drew Priestman, our Rockies insider. Should they be buyers? Should they be looking to make a big trade here to strengthen the bats a little bit?
They don't need to do anything. In fact, now would be a terrible time. You don't have the leverage. Other teams are going to hold out. The thing when people get frustrated, like, Rockies need to make moves now. You can't just force one of the other 29 teams in the league to trade you their guy.
This has been the Hull Show replay. For more, tune in weekdays from 11 to 1 at 1310 KFKA. Cutting-edge commentary from the edge of reality. The Scooter McGee Show is back on News Talk 1310 KFK.
Major senior prank gone bad. Truman High School. The Show Me State, Missouri. The senior posted the school up on Craigslist for sale. School's not happy. He doesn't have to attend graduate. Well, he doesn't get to attend. It's all in how you look at that glass being half full, half empty, or where's the bar to get it refilled. He put the school up for sale on Craigslist. Good evening, Gotham. Welcome back. No, we're not going to get to that. Well, he might be in the category of the Zeros and Heroes coming up later tonight. Also coming up at the top of the hour, Kevin Blake from the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association will be joining us. But right now we're going to wrap up our conversation. Lane is with us here in the United States, up in Washington State. He's joining us on the phones, 877-353-1310. And Joshua Card over in Southeast Asia, outside of Seoul, South Korea. He's on the phones with us, 877-353-1310. Welcome back, gentlemen. Oh, fair enough. Lane Smith. There we go. Perfect. No, fair enough. We're going to go to the top of the hour, so if you could stay with us. And I want to get in now the world of three-dimensional politics and chess. It's one thing to be able to see certain headlines, but I'd be very interested. What do you think the outcome of this will be? Are they still going to meet? Is it inevitable? Or no, it can't? And based upon current political cycles, it just no. Right. Not under Trump. Lane, we really appreciate your insight tonight on the show. Thanks for chiming in on this. No, anytime. Absolutely. Thank you. Josh, you have the floor. We'll take it to the top of the hour with your insight and perspective here.
Dismantling, by coincidence, is
Yes. No, I keep bringing it up. Regardless, the problem of, again, did the facility collapse? It doesn't matter. That was the final successful test of their long-range intercontinental, I don't say it, intercontinental, their long-range ballistic missile program capable of sending and detonating a weapon large enough, destructive enough to do what they need done. So there's one short term that their end justified the means to that. But that, yes, that's so overlooked. No one wants to talk about that or war game that out or even discuss it. Now, why, when nuclear, they already had nuclear power, would that not have empowered them with that anyway? Or no, it's nuclear dominance or perceived dominance. Sorry. Because yes, only since North Korea's admitted and outed and confirmed, they're at the big boys table now. Only now is Israel. Yeah, we're a nuclear power. Yep. Okay. Well, it is what it is. What next? Yes. No. Yeah, and you're right. It's elevated them to the world stage, put them right on the world stage, dead center. Shoot a link and post that for me on the Scooter McGee Show Facebook page, would you? Yeah, perfect. That's coming from the National View. I'll then make sure to share it over on mine. But my personal social page, we're gonna kill her at the 4th of July and use everything Scooter McGee Show oriented. But you're already on both pages, so we're good. Josh, happy Memorial Day. Thanks for chiming in with us tonight. Thanks for bringing Lane to the table as well, bringing more perspective on this. No, we've got Caldera scheduled again next week post Memorial Day. Plus, we've got Larry Pratt, Gun Owners of America, chiming in, and we've got Kevin Blake actually on the flip side here at the top of the hour news hour. So we'll keep hammering that story out of Boulder, Josh. Hail to Republic. Thanks for calling. 877-353-1310. We'll go to the top of the hour, go to news, and then coming back, Kevin Blake, Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association of America. How facial recognition software can warn immigration officers if somebody's lying. That story for you up on my social media over at 1310kfk.com. Sorry. It'll be good for you. Wow. And these cameras are already everywhere. Sao Paulo, Brazil, now under martial law. Brazilian president sends in the army as the truck strike and protest now has crippled, essentially. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Yes, Brazil, yes. Gas stations deserted. Sao Paulo declaring a state of emergency. All those headlines and more also right now up on my social media page. So yeah, let's go to the top of the hour. We'll get the news when we come back from the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. Kevin Blake will be joining us, and coming up hopefully later tonight, at least an On This Day in Illuminati history, hopefully a Zeros and Heroes, and maybe an FCC violation or two. We'll see. What? It's free. Don't complain.
Hello, Passport.